hopefully everybody can hear me okay.
Yep.
Thanks for showing up. Thanks
Yep.
for coming by.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of familiar faces from last week. I see some new faces, some new names. If you missed last week, be sure to go and get the email. We sent everybody an email with the recording of that class. Today we're going to follow up and move forward from there. Last week we talked about how many shares to buy. When it's time to buy the stock that you want to buy, how many shares do you buy, and how do you make that decision? So it was a very, very good class, and hopefully you guys all get a chance to watch that. Now, this week we're actually going to follow up and share with you an actual strategy, start to finish. What can you do to learn exactly when it's time to buy a stock? So we told you how many to buy, so you know how many shares you want to buy. This week we're going to show you a complete start to finish strategy that we use at Trading Wings. So my job is to help investors such as yourselves come to us, and I will show you what to buy and when to buy it. Now, this is our current portfolio that we showed last week. I showed you the symbols and how they were performing, and I told you that this week I would update you again, just as I do to all of our members, and show you how our portfolio is performing. And we're doing really, really well. So using some of the strategies that we're going to teach tonight and next Thursday, this is how we've built a portfolio. And it's my job to not only pick the stocks for you until you're comfortable doing that, but to also teach you, show you exactly why I buy and exactly why I think a stock will go to a certain target, and why it's a good play. So hopefully you guys have a chance to check out some of these symbols. We have discussed some of them last week, and what I'd like to do now is go from start to finish. Let's take a strategy. I want to show you how it works, and then I want to give you some trades that you can watch, and one of them actually is good to go for tomorrow, so I want to make sure to go over that, and every one of you can participate in this trade. Now, the only warning that I have for you is if you buy the symbol that I tell you to buy today, or we have a few that we're going to go over, if you buy them, I won't be there for you to tell you when to get out and when to take your profits. So it's very important that all of you come to Trading Wings and log into our investor service so that you can watch me. I'm going to give you some symbols tonight. I'm going to tell our members about the same symbols. The only difference is if you're not a member, I can't tell you when it's time to get out. I don't know how to get a hold of you. So it's very important that you come and try us out at Trading Wings, okay? Okay, let's get started. Hopefully you guys have a pen, pencil, something to write with, maybe a spreadsheet or a Word document open. There's quite a few things to cover. We promised you that this would be more detailed and more advanced than prior seminars, and I plan on delivering tonight. So hopefully you have something to take notes. Just be aware that tonight's webinar is recorded, so you will be able to watch it as many times as you need to, and we hope that you find this information useful. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 3 most popular things that people use when they trade. Now this can be day traders, this can be investors, all the way up to the big time money managers. There are 3 very, very popular areas or indicators on a chart that people like to use. And lucky for you guys, the ViewTrade platform actually has all of it. One of the coolest things about this platform is it has, you should be able to see my screen. It has all of the features that you need to make money, but it doesn't have all the extra junk that all the other platforms try to sell you. We have just what you need. And the first thing we're going to talk about tonight is called price support. Now, at Trading Wings, we have an entire 17-hour video series that you can watch. All of the clients of ViewTrade get free access to this 17 hours of video, and we talk about support and resistance a lot. So tonight I'm just going to give you what you need to make money, and then you can always come to us and watch these videos later. They're free. It doesn't cost anything. So the first and probably the most popular thing that people use is price support and price resistance. Very simply, every time a stock retraces or pulls back to an area that it bounced in the past, right? See on the charts here, we have an area right here where the stock bounced. And then it came all the way back to the same area that it bounced before, right? This is known as price support. It's very simple. And many, if not every trader or investor out there really wants to know, where is price support? Where is a likely spot that the stock will stop going down and possibly move up? So, number one, if you're writing this down, price support. Very important that you understand that. You know where to find it and how to interpret it. Okay? The second most popular sort of indicator, I'll say, that people use are usually at the bottom portion of their charts, like these lines down here. And in my example, I'm showing you the stochastics. Many of you have heard of that before. Some of you, maybe not. Stochastics, MACD, they call it, MACD, moving average convergence divergence is what that means. RSI, relative strength indicator. These are all different indicators that other traders have come up with. They basically all tell you the same thing. It gives you an idea of when a stock is oversold and when a stock is overbought. It's just an idea. You shouldn't really rely on this one specific thing, but it gives you an idea that a stock is oversold. And basically, in this example, I use stochastics. And how this works is as a stock pulls back, right, the stochastics down here are just tracking that. They're running a pretty simple formula and then displaying it visually. And there's right here we have on the scale, we go from 0 to 100. And what most traders do is they say, every time these lines go under 20, we'll consider that stock to be oversold and due for a bounce. Every time they go over 80, is the most common number people use, we will consider that stock overbought and due for a pullback to just even a little bit, right? And so it doesn't matter which one you're using, stochastics, RSI, MACD. The idea is just to see when other traders think the stock is oversold. And so like in this case, it pulled back, we went under 20 right here, and most traders thought, oh, we're under 20, let's give this stock a chance. Let's buy it and see if it bounces. And in this case, they were right, so it worked out. Notice also in this example, not only do the indicators tell you that the stock is oversold, but we also have what we just talked about, price support. The stock came down to an area where it bounced previously, right? So we have two things going for us there, so that's pretty cool. So number one is price support. Really learn price support, and like I said, we have plenty of videos that are available free for you to watch where we break it down step by step, give you the best value for your time. Number two is going to be indicators. It doesn't matter which one they are, which one you're going to use. Stochastics are just easy to interpret. You can use that if it makes it easy for you. Our platform also provides the RSI and MACDs and Bollinger Bands if that's what you're interested in. I just use stochastics because it doesn't take up a lot of space on my chart. Okay, so that's number two. Number three is not the most popular, but still widely used, especially when you go overseas and you see a lot of these other non-American investors. They really love this. And what that is it's called Fibonacci. And again, we have a whole section in our videos that will explain Fibonacci from top to bottom and what it means. But basically, if you're a ViewTrade client and you have the same platform, all you do is you go up to the top and you see this little F. I'm going to highlight it for you just so you can see it. Right here, we have this slick little button. Very easily, nicely tucked right there. Okay, so what you do is you click on that button and you go from the low of the move all the way to the high. So I'm going to click and I'm just going to drag all the way up to the top, just like that, and then you just let it go. Okay. And what this is doing is automatically calculating the support levels for you. Now, personally, I don't use just this to make my decisions, but I like to see that the people that like using Fibonacci, I want to see what they're looking at. And sure enough, when you look at this stock right here, you can see, let me give you blue, you can see the different areas that it responds to. Here, right here, notice it stopped right perfectly at that number. Right here, right? Cool little areas to watch right in here. So we know by looking at just this one stock that there are many traders using this simple little tool. So that's number 3. You might want to just write Fibonacci is number 3. So those are the 3 most popular sort of ideas that people include in their strategies. Now that you know that, wouldn't it make sense to buy a stock right when all 3 of them are happening at the same time? Meaning a stock comes back to price support. It's also on a Fibonacci line. And the indicators also say that a stock is oversold. If I just told you those are the 3 most popular things that people look for, why not include all 3 of them in one shot and say, hey, every time I get all 3, I'm going to buy that stock? Well, that's what I'm going to show you here tonight. This is one of the most fun strategies you can do because you know that other people are doing the exact same thing you are. They think it's a good buy right at the same time you do. It's a lot of fun. So let's give you an example. This is the symbol AMAT. If you've never heard of the symbol before, it's a semiconductor stock. They make little chips and little electronic things that go inside of computers, you know, the little resistors and things like that. Really cool. Well, on the chart, let's take a look at what happened. I'm going to get rid of this line, and I'm going to go step by step and show you this. Number 1, what's the first thing we're looking for? Price support. Right here, AMAT has pulled back to an area that it bounced prior, right? So already you go, okay, I have price support, and I know that there are a lot of people looking at that. Let's go see what else we can find. Number 2, indicators. Are the indicators showing you that the stock is oversold? And in my example, I'm going to use the stochastics, as I will in all my examples. And the indicator is saying, yes, we have a stock that is almost oversold. It's getting there. So we already have 2. So we have 1, we have support, right? And Johnny's probably typing it in there for you, right? We got support. Okay. Number 2, we have the indicator. I'll just do indicator like that. Okay. So we already have 2 very, very popular ideas that people have. If we can get 1 more, that would mean that we have a stock that the masses should be showing up to buy it. And remember how I just taught you that. You go up here on the chart and you click this button right here, and it will automatically do the math for you. And you just draw it from the low to the high. And all we want to see is that it matches with one of those areas. Very, very close. See it? So we have 3 of the most popular sort of ideas that people look for. This is the Fibonacci. Right? So now that we know this, and now that we know people are going to show up and they're going to take a shot, they're going to buy this stock and see if it goes higher, we just need a specific moment, a specific price to tell you when to buy it. And it wouldn't be much of a seminar if I didn't give you that. So let's go to the next step. Now that you found this, when do you press the button and buy all those shares, right? Okay. The first thing, notice this is on a weekly chart. Very important that you find the 3 on a weekly chart. And I'll tell you, for the most part, I'll do it if I have at least 2 out of the 3. If I have all 3 of these, I'm definitely doing it. But as long as I have 2 out of the 3, I'm okay with that. I'll take a chance. Okay. Now, specifically, when it becomes time to buy it, here's what you do. This is really cool. You go to this chart here. Okay. Now, on the View Trade platform, all you do is you just change your chart to a line. These are candlesticks up here. You just change it to line chart. And I'm actually going to get rid of, give me just 1 second here. Let me get rid of my other color there. There we go. I do two symbols on top of each other. The maroon color was the S&P. The blue color here. Now this is the stock. This is the same thing. Now we're on a daily chart here. So we find what we're looking for. All three of these most important strategies, we find these on the weekly chart, right? Then when it comes time to get in, we want to look at a daily chart. Right? We don't want to wait a whole week. We want to find out an entry the next day if we can. And here's what you look for. It's actually kind of funny. You'll remember this. In the Trading Wings logo, see this W right here in the logo? Trading Wings, the big green W. On our line chart, we want to see the same thing. We want to see it come down, then go up, come back down, but not lower than the prior low, right? And then go up. That's when we want to buy it. So really, we're looking for the green W in Trading Wings. This is how you'll remember. You'll never forget us over here at Trading Wings because you're going to see this logo on the chart. It's going to make you money. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay? Now let's go to our chart and find the W, and that's going to tell us exactly when it's time to buy. Ready? Here's AMAT. We're on the daily chart. Now we have a line, and all we're looking for is our logo, the W. So let's say it's tomorrow morning. We wake up, and the stock went up. So okay, well, we might be onto something. You can kind of see how it's starting to look like the W, right? It's going up. All we need now is for it to come down and then go back up, and it'll look just like the W in our logo, right? So it's just that simple. I know it sounds silly, but it's just a fun way to remember it. Okay, so let's say it's today, right? Well, it went up. The next day, it came down a little bit. Now that's fine as long as it doesn't go under this low. Remember, our logo was designed this way specifically for this. See how it's a little bit higher on the right than it is on the left. Just a little bit. That's what we want. You don't want it the other way. It's got to look just like this logo. Okay? All right, so let's go back. And we say, well, we might have something here. So far, it looks like it. Now, one more day down, though, and it won't look like our logo anymore. We'll have to walk away and wait for it to happen. Okay? But if it goes up, when will we buy it? And the exact point that you want to buy it, you have to imagine this just a little bit. Let's say it goes up tomorrow, and it just goes up like this. Right? At the exact price that it goes above the middle part of the W, that's when you buy it. And it's real easy to find that price. All you do is you click and hold your mouse down right on the point, and you see the little box that pulled up? It says the closing or the high price was $15.15. So right here at the tip of that line is $15.15. That's the price you want to buy, right? It's got to go over that. So you say $15.16, okay? And so now we know a day beforehand, possibly 2 or 3 days beforehand, we know the exact price that we want to buy this stock at. That's pretty cool because now you can go into your platform and you can put an order in and say, if it goes to 15.16, get me in the stock. I want in, but not unless it goes to 15.16 or higher. So now you can go to work, you can do whatever it else is that you do in your life, and you don't have to worry about it. Let's see how it works. So the very next day, what happens? We go up a little bit. But you see how it didn't go above our 15.15. So we're not in yet. We're thinking, oh, we're getting close. It's right there, 15.16, and we're in. So let's see what the next day holds. That's where it's at, right there. Does that not look just like our logo? It's perfect. You could put it right on top. Again, here, take a look at this. We got this. That's a W. Okay? And then look at our logo. It's the same thing. Right? Right there. So that's exactly what we want, and that's when you want to buy that stock, right there. You're best chance for making money is right at that point. And it's kind of fun because we get to put a little W on the, or the market puts the W on the chart. We just get to have fun with our logo there. And that's when you want to get in. Now, realize that when you buy it, the top 3 ideas that people use, they're buying it as well. So you're not alone. If it doesn't work out, it's not like you can say you were wrong. Everybody was wrong. Everybody took a try at it, and it wouldn't work. So I think AMAT went up pretty good from there. Everything's been going up lately, but you can see what happens, right? That's when you get the most activity. That's when you get the most amount of people to risk their money. And that's a good place to look, right? Okay? So this is the sort of thing you want to look for. And I promised I wouldn't take much of your time. I want to give you some ideas that you can use going forward. Okay? Now, here's a little bit of a warning. If you look at the market, here's our market right here. Obviously, this strategy is going to be better when the market pulls back. Lucky for everybody that's buying the stock market, it's just been going straight up, right? So now we're at a point where the market should start to pull back. It would be nice if the market would pull back. And as it does, think about what happens. All your charts start to come down to what? Price support, right? They'll come down and you'll start to notice more and more symbols hitting price support. And then what else is going to happen, right? Your indicators, they're all moving based on a just simple math calculation. They're all going to roll over and start coming down to where you need them to. And so this strategy is really best when the market pulls back or falls just a little bit. We haven't had a lot of that, so most of our plays have been other types of strategies. But when the market pulls back, we're going to be using this a lot. It's one of the most fun things I get to do when I find a strategy. All right, so let's look at some symbols that are close or currently giving us exactly what we need to buy the stock. So you guys can take these ideas. Tomorrow when the market opens, you can go buy the stock, right? Try it out. See if what I'm telling you is worth your time, and then hopefully come back next Thursday. All right, so let's look. I did a little bit of looking around, and I want to just go over some of them that are close and some of them that are really ready to go. Okay, so you can see the difference. All right, so there's a symbol that's called CAB. All right, so you want to look up if you have your own charts or you just joined us here at ViewTrade. Pull your ViewTrade platform up. Okay, and we're going to look at some things. The symbol is CAB. Okay. Now remember, we're always going to start on the weekly chart. So, first thing first, this is Cabela. I always keep my weekly chart on the left because I want to start with this. I see that the stock is pulling back, and that's okay. That's not scary. Most people run away, but that's okay. We want to see when would be a good time to buy Cabelas. The first thing we notice, we have some price support. Okay, we're always going to start with number 1. So if you have a piece of paper, that's all you do. Just number 1, price support. Yes or no? And the answer is yes. Looking good. Now this is a different type of price support. You really, really need to join us here at ViewTrade and go watch those videos that we have for you. I do a really good explanation of price support that it just helps so much when you're looking at charts. Okay, so we have number 1. Yes, right? We have it. Okay. Number 2, whatever indicator you want to use, is it showing you oversold? And in this case, we are beneath the $20 number, or 20% is what it is. We're beneath that. So yes, we have an oversold stock. Our indicators are showing that people are looking forward to buying the stock. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to clear this out of the way. I'm going to have to erase it, but I want to show you. You go up here, and on the platform, just click your Fibonacci lines there, and it'll do the work for you. Just go from low to high, and all we want to do is see if we're about to one of those lines. And look what happened. This is actually pretty interesting. So we fell down right into price support in this Fibonacci line right here. And the people that like to use Fibonacci, they already bought it. They took a chance and bought in early. That's kind of cool to see, huh? I like that. Okay, so yes, we have all three of the most popular ideas that people use, and now we just need a way to get in. So remember, once you have the things you're looking for, go to your line chart. I always keep it tucked away on the side here, and we're looking for the W in our logo. Now, it's not this, right? You see a W right here, right? You go, well, that could be a W, but it's not our logo, is it? This side is lower than the left side. That's the opposite of what we want. We want to flip it around. So that won't work. Okay, so let's clear that out of the way. None of you are going to fall for that. Nobody's going to buy that stock right then. Not the right time. So we go over here and we say, well, here it is, right there. Right, it just happened. Right? And we know that we take we go right here to the peak and we go, well, what's the price? $62. That would have been the entry price. So this one is in the process of working. Pretty neat, huh? So you say, well, that doesn't do me any good. I want something that makes me money. Not a problem. You can do the next one, right? The first 3 times that you see our logo, try it. There's nothing wrong with that. Anything after that, it's probably best to go look for something else, okay? In fact, in our investors group, we use that to add. So let's say we already bought, then the next time we see our logo, we're going to add more to our position, okay? So if you want to watch this symbol, here's what you look for. We have everything we need. We just need to see another logo. So we've already come down. We went up today. That was pretty nice. If we come down a little bit tomorrow or over the next couple days, then you'll know that this is the price that you want to get in at, whatever that number is. Then you go, right when it hits and pops up over there, that's when you buy it. Okay? We don't know if that's going to happen yet. That's the fun part about this strategy. You make a list of symbols, and then you check on them every day. But did it do it yet? Nope. Did it do it yet? And then when it does, get in. Okay? So that's kind of a nice little one to go through, and you can watch that. That'll be a real good one to look at. Very popular company here in the States. All right? Okay, let's look around some more. And feel free to ask any questions. If I'm losing you or you want me to review something, I can do it, but I'm going to just keep going over them. I'm going to show you as we go. All right. Now, here's another one. This is a company that's doing really well in the United States. In fact, I think they just reported earnings today. It's the symbol AN, and it's Autonation. These guys sell cars, trucks, things like that. It's a car dealership. So let's go through it. What do we need first? We need price support. Now, if you're not familiar with price support, again, you got to watch those videos. It's so worth the effort. You join us at ViewTrade, watch those videos. They're so much fun to see those. We have price support. We've moved above a range, and we pulled back on top of it. So we're looking good. Number 1, yes, we got it. Number 2, uh-oh, we don't have it, right? Number 2, our indicators are right in between 100 and 0. Oh, that's not what he said. Remember I said we got to wait for 20. Well, we're not there yet. But it's not a deal breaker. Remember, if you can get at least 2 out of the 3, you're looking good. If you get all 3 of them, you got to do it. That's when you have to buy that. You just have to risk the money there. It's well worth the risk. So we're only going to have 2 here, it looks like. Let's see if we even have that 3rd one. I'm going to go to the top. I've got my toolbar selected, and I'm going to click the Fibonacci button. Doesn't matter if you click down here or even lower. Click it and then let go. And what do we have? Let me clear my marks out of the way so you can see. There you go. So we've pulled back right on top of a nice Fibonacci level that those guys like to look at. Looking good. In fact, you see how it's bounced off of it already. So that's pretty cool. So we have 2 out of the 3. This is okay. This is not very exciting, but it's okay. Let's see if we can find an entry. So you're going to go to your chart here, your line chart, remember. And what we're going to look for now is the same thing we've been talking about. We're going to look for our logo. So now we have 1, right? It's right here. And look at the difference. we only have 2 of the most popular ideas. So this one's not that exciting. Notice how it dropped a little bit once it happened. So you say, maybe I should always have all 3, but it's okay. Moving forward now, if you want to play this stock, I still like this stock. I'm going to keep watching for a logo play here. All we have to do is we have this part right here, right? We have a bounce. If we come down a couple days, or maybe just one day, that's fine. As long as we don't go under this low right here, that's okay. Remember, it needs to look just like our logo. Then, when it bounces, we want to know the number to get in. And remember, you just hold your cursor over this, and you look at the high, and it happens to be 49.53. So if we make our logo play anything over 49.53, that'll do the trick. Okay, so we're waiting patiently for that. All right, so that one's not bad. Okay, let's take a look at one more, and then we'll move on. It seems like everybody's kind of got this down. All right, this one is also in the same sector, actually. It's called Macy's. Many of you've been to Macy's in New York up there. Macy's, it's a retail company. If you've never heard of Macy's, they sell clothes and makeup and stuff. It's a retail store. So we're going to start on our weekly chart. Always start on a weekly chart, and we're going to go number 1. Do we have price support? Okay, and let's see. We've got a long range here, and look what happened. We pulled right back on top of it. Perfect price support. Beautiful price support. So we have to say, yeah, we have price. That's great price support. That's better than we've seen so far. Yes. Next, do we have indicators that are saying the stock is oversold? Any indicator will do. And our answer now is yes. Look, it's spent all this time under 20. We're at about 25 now, or 22, somewhere in there, but we're right there. Okay, so number 2, indicators, yeah, we do. Okay, and now I have to clear this out, but what we're going to do is go click on our button up here, right there, and we see Fibonacci players. Do we have any Fibonacci players on this one? And we go, yeah, of course we do, right here. We've pulled back right on top of it, and the Fibonacci players are already starting to buy it. And I'll tell you, this is one of the coolest ideas, one of the coolest things about this strategy is you get to watch other people buy first. How many times have you seen a stock drop, and then you just try to guess that that's the bottom? You go, oh, maybe it's here. That doesn't work, right? You get to watch other people buy first, because what is that, really? Realistically, that's the first side of our logo. So you get to see it happen first. Let them prove it to you that they're going to buy. That's what I love about this. Okay, now we have everything we need. We have all 3. We have to take this play. So let's go find an entry. And what happened today? Beautiful, beautiful logo on our charts. Now, we have a rule at TW Investors. You can chase the stock as much as 2%, but don't go any further than that. If you happen to miss a play and you say, oh, it went without me, as long as you don't chase it more than 2%, you're fine. So this stock, you can buy this stock. I love this play right here. Okay, so let's just see how you would have gone about it, right? We made our logo, and you put your cursor right here on the point in the middle, and you look at the high, and the high price was $44.71. We're only at $45.10. We're pennies away from the entry. Maybe tomorrow morning it drops first, and that'd be a great place to buy it, right? So this one I really like, and I like the company too. They got a lot of good things going on, and the holidays are coming up, so another good thing for it. But the bottom line is you get to watch people buy first. All of this right here, we don't mess with that. Don't touch that. Right? We found everything we needed right here. Let everybody else buy first, and then you just hop in. Because most people don't like to watch a stock go up first before they buy it, and that's why most people don't make any money. They want to buy it when they think it's cheap or on sale. I'll give you an argument I'll give you something to think about here. Hopefully it'll change your mind. If your goal is to make 10%, and Ken, I'm talking to you, if your goal is to make 10% on a stock, let's just say that's the number. It could be 5% or 50%. The number doesn't matter. What does it matter if you make the 10% from here to, what would be 10%? Almost here. What does it matter if you get 10% from here to here, or let's say you bought the bottom, if you get the 10% from here to here? Does it really matter? It's 10%. It's a profit either way. The trouble is the people that buy right here and try to guess the bottom, oh man, that is so hard. Trust me, I mean, it's one of my favorite things to do when day trading is to try to guess the bottom. But you can't try to make a living guessing the bottom, or you're not going to make a very good living. So it always pays to let people buy the stock first, and then you buy after them. Don't feel like you're chasing it. You're just following the people that are buying. They're obviously buying for good reason. And if it doesn't work out, let's say Macy's turns around and we all buy it, right? And Macy's goes up a little bit and then turns around and goes down. We know we're not the only people to get it wrong. So you don't have to worry about, oh, am I doing the right thing? And am I any good at this? And all those sad stories. You go, no, I tried to buy this stock when everybody else tried it. It just didn't work this time. It's not your fault. So I love that. You don't ever have to second guess yourself. Okay? All right. So that's the idea. That's what we're looking for. We call that the logo play. And again, when the market does finally pull back at some point, you'll see them everywhere. For now, you just have to watch the stocks like Macy's and some of these other names. They just, for whatever reason, they just pulled back a little bit and they're getting ready for their next move up. That's all. Okay? All right, so if there are any questions, now is a great time to ask those questions. I am through with this strategy. Again, it's recorded. We're going to make this available to you. If it was a little much for you, you can watch this as many times as you like, and you are more than welcome to email me anytime. You can email Johnny and tell him, translate this for me if that helps you. I'm okay with that. We can work together on that. All right? Now, I think we've got a lot of smart people here, because if anything like last week, you guys just pick right up on it, and you guys, I got it. Let's go. Let's make money. So hopefully that's going well for you. Now, I'll make just one last thing here. If you have any questions, just type them in there while I'll talk about one more thing. I was just talking about buying the bottom and how tough that is. Look at our portfolio, the symbols that we have in the portfolio, and how well they're doing. Right? We've recently taken some profits, but so our portfolio is smaller than you would normally see. There's only 6 names here going on. We might have as many as 8 by the end of next week. It's very small for us. We're doing well. Look at the symbols. As I click on them, there's stocks that are already going up. You see what's happening here? They're already moving up. I'm not trying to guess the bottom. They were already going up, and we just bought them when they continue to go up. It doesn't sound normal. Most people tell you buy on pullbacks. You can do that if you like. But look at how well they do right now in this market if you just buy stocks that are going up. It's the opposite of what most people think to do. Yeah, you go to the store, you don't want to buy something that the price went up. You want to buy something that's on sale, right? So it's built into us to shop for a good deal, but it's just not worth it in this market. Someday that will change. Our market will pull back, and it will pull back. In my opinion, I think it's going to be very, very nasty when it does. It's going to really, really pull back. And buying stocks that are on sale will be popular again. But right now, it's not very popular. All right, so that will wrap up our seminar this Thursday. I hope you get a chance to make some money from this. It is so much fun when you have something specific to look for. If it wasn't enough for you, you come back next Thursday, I'm going to give you one more strategy, my most favorite strategy out of all of them. It is the most in-depth and most advanced strategy out of anything we've ever taught you. So, again, bring a pen and paper. Be ready to learn.
Okay. Dustin? Okay.
Yeah.
We will wrap it up, right? So,
Yep.
제가 조금 이제 설명을 지금 제가 타이핑하느라 손가락이 굉장히 아팠는데요. 일단 오늘 그 세 가지 전략 잘 들으셨을 거라고 봅니다. 그래서 저희 뷰트레이드 증권 플랫폼이거든요. 이게 동일합니다. 그래서 뷰트레이드 증권 계좌 개설을 하시면 이거 이제 쓰실 수가 있고요. 그리고 지금 말씀드린 대로 우리 트레이딩 윙즈 인베스트 그룹에서 이 더스틴 전문가가 지금 포트폴리오를 계속 관리하고 있고, 아까 보신 그 엑셀 시트의 그 퍼포먼스가 상당히 지금 좋은 상황인데, 시장도 좋고요. 그런데 말씀드렸듯이 철저히 원칙이 있습니다. 첫 번째, 두 번째, 세 번째 전략의 원칙이 있고, 첫 번째에서는 그 지지선을 확실하게 찾습니다. 그것이 이제 가장 중요하고, 더스틴이 만든 동영상이 지금 저희가 39개 동영상이 있어요. 저도 지금 한국에서 증권사에 오래 있다가 여기 와서 보니까 이 미국에서 상한가가 없기 때문에 실제 이 전략을 제대로 활용하지 않으면은 얼마든지 큰 손실을 볼 수 있는 것이 미국 시장이거든요. 한국은 15% 상위 15% 아래 15%로 딱 잘못 들어가더라도 뭐 하한가로 막아주잖아요. 그 다음날 또 하한가 들어가기도 하지만 일단은 15% 이상 떨어지지 않습니다. 근데 여기는 오늘도 어떤 종목 보니까 20불짜리가 5불로 떨어졌더라고요. 뭐 실적이 나쁜지 어떤 뉴스가 딱 나니까. 이런 거를 피하려면은 자기만의 투자 원칙이 있어야 됩니다. 그래서 지금 이제 더스틴 같이 가격 전략, 이 가격을 어떻게 지지선을 가지고 가는지, 이 지지선은 쉽게 무너지지 않으니까. 그래서 주봉으로 반드시 시작을 합니다. 주봉. 그래서 주봉은 이제 장기 차트이기 때문에 일봉은 단기지만 주봉은 장기입니다. 그래서 이 장기 차트에서 일단 흐름이 어떻게 가는지, 이 장기의 흐름에서 지지를 받고 있다면 쉽게 무너지지가 않는 거거든요. 그래서 일봉이란 이런 단기로 확인하는 것이 아니라 주봉 차트에서 장기를 확인해서 지지선을 확인을 하고, 그리고 이제 두 번째 세컨 원으로 이제 스타캐스틱 이거는 뭐 아시는 분들은 아시지만은 실제 이제 주봉에서 얼마나 보십니까? 주봉에서 보셔야 된다는 거예요. 주봉에서 스타캐스틱이 20 이하, 여기 지금 숫자가 보이시잖아요. 20 이하로 떨어지면 이게 과매도권이에요. 그래서 1번의 지지선의 지지를 받고, 지지를 받으면서 막 올라가는 형태다. 그리고 스타캐스틱의 20 과매도권으로 떨어졌다 하면서 이제 올라가기 시작한다. 그러면 이건 왔다라는 거예요. 그래서 그러면 이건 해당이고, 그러면서 우리 정확하게 피보나치 수열은 벌써 역사적으로 유명한 건데, 이게 이제 기술적으로 그렇게 움직인다라는 거예요. 그렇게 피보나치 형태로 이 시세 모든 만물이 그렇게 흘러가기 때문에 피보나치 그림을 우리 플랫폼에서 바로 그려줍니다. 저도 이 한국에서 증권사 플랫폼이 있었지만은 굉장히 단순하고 아주 좋습니다. 저희 뷰트레이드 증권 플랫폼이. 그래서 아까 말씀드렸듯이 이 차트를 딱 주봉에서 최저점과 최고점을 딱 연결을 하면은 그 최고점과 최저점 사이에서 그 피보나치 선이 딱 그려집니다. 그 선에 정확하게 중간중간에 저항과 지지선을 정확하게 그렇게 차트가 흘러요. 그래서 많은 매매자들, 큰 손들이 다 그렇게 지금 움직이고 있다라는 거를 이것을 보고 움직이는 거죠. 그래서 그거를 감안하고 들어간다면 이제 첫 번째, 두 번째, 세 번째를 가지고 첫 번째, 두 번째, 세 번째가 다 해당이 된다. 그러면은 이거는 이제 우리가 이 종목은 사도 된다라는 거 봅니다. 그렇다고 바로 들어가는 것이 아니라 아까 말씀드렸듯이 다 들은 얘기지만은 우리는 일봉을 선 차트로 봅니다. 이제 캔들 차트로 보지 않고 일봉을 선 차트로 변환해서 보는데, 자, 그럼 일봉 단기로 봤을 때 이 종목이 어떻게 가느냐. 자, 우리 로고가 이제 W인데, W가 전 고점, 그러니까 전 저점보다 덜 낮게, 그러니까 이전 저점보다 덜 낮게 이제 W 형태로 그리는 형태로 많이 움직이거든요. 그래서 워낙 일봉 차트나 이런 이제 주가의 흐름이 이 W인데 이렇게 기울어진 W로 많이 움직이면서 상승해 버리니까 그런 형태가 많으니까 우리가 트레이드 윙즈 로고를 그렇게 잡은 거거든요. 그래서 그렇게 W 모양을 그리는 시점을 이제 잡아내는 거죠. 이 종목을 현재 시점에서 이 W 이렇게 기울어진 W를 만들고 있는지. 그래서 처음에는 못 들어갔을지라도 확 오르다가 다시 이제 조정이 오는데 그 조정이 처음 떨어졌을 때보다 더 떨어지면 그건 보지 마시고 처음 떨어질 때보다 좀 덜 떨어진 그렇게 이렇게 움직인다. 일봉이. 일봉이 그렇게 움직인다고 하면은 이제 매매 들어가면 되는 겁니다. 그래서 그 메이시스 같은 경우에 내일 어떻게 시작하는지 한번 보시고요. 오늘 종목들 지금 기억하시죠? MAR이든지 뭐 이런 종목들. 이 종목들이 어떻게 움직이는지 한번 보시기 바랍니다. 오늘 시간이 없어가지고 사실 아까 한 분이 보유 종목 20개를 저한테 던져주셨는데 그거를 제가 더스틴한테 줬는데 더스틴이 그걸 이제 커버는 지금 하기는 좀 쉽지 않은 것 같아요. 일단 우리 트레이딩 윙즈가 계좌 개설을 하지 않으시고 그냥 이제 다른 데 활용하고 있으시면 그냥 이거 월 100불이면 이거 쓰실 수 있습니다. 그래서 100불 계좌 개설 하시면 이제 저희 회원이 돼서 쓰실 수가 있어요. 그래서 지금 이 더스틴 뭐 발음도 쉽고 하기 때문에 상당히 듣기 쉽고 그리고 저희 서비스 보시면은 그 퍼포먼스 시트가 나오기 때문에 뭐 영어 잘하고 못하고를 떠나서 그냥 딱 보면은 이제 보유 종목 뭐뭐 들어갔고 그거 언제 들어가고 언제 엔트리 언제 엑시트 하는지 그리고 퍼포먼스가 얼마며 언제 들어간지를 정확하게 엑셀로 관리하고 그리고 계속 방송으로 커버를 해줍니다. 그래서 상당히 괜찮고요. 이 전략을 같이 좀 해나가면서 바로 뭐 매매하실 필요는 없을 것 같고 이거를 같이 좀 계속 해나가면서 어느 정도 좀 자신감이 붙으면은 이제 참여를 하셔도 됩니다. 실제로 포트폴리오를 운영하고 있으니까 뭐 좀 매매를 좀 해보신 분들이라면 바로 시작을 할 수도 있고요. 그래서 오늘 매매 전략들이 어떻게 보면은 기존에 다 아는 전략일 수도 있지만은 이거를 주봉과 일봉으로 나눠서 먼저 장기를 보고 장기에서 가격 지지선을 확인을 하고 저항선과 지지선, 특히 지지선을 확인을 하고 지지되고 있는 종목에 한해서 들어가는 거죠. 그래서 주봉, 월봉까지는 보실 필요 없고 주봉에서 장기에서 확인을 하고 이것이 이제 또 보조지표에서도 과매도권이다. 이게 확인이 되면은 스타캐스틱 말고 MACD를 보던 여러 가지 또 보조지표도 있습니다. 근데 MACD나 스타캐스틱 둘 다 과매도권 들어가면 더 좋고요. 그렇게 해서 종목이 결정이 나면은 그 종목의 일봉 차트에서 이제 로고 스타일로 우리 매매 전략은 로고 말고 또 여러 개가 있거든요. 그 매매 전략 중에 하나를 말씀드린 거예요. 그 매매 타이밍 전략 중에. 그래서 매매를 하는 방법입니다. 자, 오늘 이것을 저희 다음 주에 또 저희가 할 예정이 다음 주 목요일 날 참석하시면 이제 또 매매 노하우에 대해서 알려드리고 저희 실제 포트폴리오와 저희 서비스를 전부 공개하면서 같이 투자에 승리할 수 있도록 저희가 파트너가 될 수 있도록 그렇게 노력하겠습니다. 혹시 질문 있으시면 한글로 이게 입력이 되거든요. 질문 있으면 질문 주세요. If you have any question, please type in the chat box. 강의가 만족되었으면 1번 쳐주시겠어요? If you satisfy today's lecture, please type 1. Please. 제이유님 감사합니다. 창원님 예, 예, 감사합니다. 감사합니다. 유니스님, 헬리 김님, 제임스님, 잘 듣고 계시죠? 조앤. 다음 주에 꼭 오세요. 예, 이걸로 마치도록 하겠습니다. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you, everybody.